Wordly Wise Lesson 8 test. Find a synonym for each bold word. Then fill in the circle next to your answer. Number 1. Kelsey was ecstatic when she heard the news. A. Depressed. B. Worried. C. Jubilant. D. Stunned. Number 2. The expedition took them to Africa and Asia. A. Journey. B. Airplane. C. Boat. D. Guide. The remote control is in a convenient spot. A. Useless. B. Forgotten. C. Permanent. D. Handy. Number 4. A skirmish was underway in the rat's cage. A. Squall. B. Feast. C. Fight. D. Chase. Number 5. It didn't take long for her to retrieve her bracelet. A. Design. B. Recover. C. Purchase. D. Return. 6. Ahead of us lay the grizzly bear's territory. A. Relatives. B. Threats. C. Trails. D. Terrain. Find an antonym for each bold word, then fill in the circle next to your answer. 7. Summer seemed to linger later this year. A. Appear. B. Flee. C. Shrink. D. Resume. 8. Devin was an inept painter. A. Careless. B. Old-fashioned. C. Deft. D. Dull. 9. The captive bird refused to sing. A. Well-fed. B. Healthy. C. Happy. D. Liberated. 10. Victoria's advice was invaluable. A. Useless. B. Helpful. C. Wrong. D. Foolish. 11. Ladybugs are beneficial in gardens. A. Uncommon. B. Harmful. C. Popular. D. Helpful. 12. The professor interpreted the formula for the class. A. Spoke. B. Revised. C. Obscured. D. Explained. Choose the best way to complete each sentence or answer each question. Then fill in the circle next to your answer. 13. Ms. Bates interpreted the speech for the audience. Interpreted means A. Gave the speech in another language. B. Read the speech word for word. C. Presented a summary of the speech. D. Handed out copies of the speech. 14. Who is most likely to accompany a violinist? A. A theater manager. B. A family member. C. A piano player. D. A member of the audience. 15. A supplement to a dictionary is most likely to A. Be an all-new edition. B. Contain more words than the original. C. Explain how to use the dictionary. D. Contain words left out of the original. 16. Captive is to prison as A. Ring is to jewel box. B. Guard is to jail. C. Cage is to pen. D. Dictator is to country. 17. What would be a convenience in an apartment? A. The apartment manager. B. A washing machine. C. Noisy neighbors. D. Carpet. 18. The catnip put Snowball in a state of ecstasy. Ecstasy means A. Unconsciousness. B. Sickness. C. Extreme happiness. D. Confusion. 19. The expedition assembled in Cairo. Expedition means A. A collection of supplies for a journey. B. A transportation for a long trip. C. A site where travelers camp. D. A group of explorers or soldiers. 20. Which of the following would be called an expanse? A. A flower garden. B. A drought. C. The surface of the ocean. D. A skyscraper. 21. An inept compliment is likely to A. Thrill the person getting the compliment. B. Embarrass the person getting the compliment. C. Be written rather than spoken. D. Be very imaginative. 22. A traveler might be accompanied by A. A friend. B. A travel agency. C. A hotel. D. His or her workplace. 23. Alyssa supplemented her dinner with A. A good book. B. A bedtime snack. C. A short nap. D. Cleaning up the kitchen. 24. Someone in captivity is most likely to dream of A. Earning more money. B. Doing heroic deeds. C. Making new friends. D. Being set free. 25. I couldn't interpret his expression. Interpret means A. Figure out the meaning of. B. Bear to look at. C. Forget. D. Mimic exactly. 26. The chimp was trained to retrieve a ball. The chimp would A. Throw the ball at a basketball hoop. B. Make a sign for the word ball. C. Bring back the ball you had just thrown. D. Hide the ball under a piece of furniture. 27. The cats skirmished and then ran. Skirmished means A. ate quickly, B. jumped outside, C. jumped up, D. had a short fight. 28. When Alaska was a territory and not a state, it was A. an independent country, B. governed by the United States, C. able to elect its own president, D. part of the state of Washington.